Coming up on today's episode. Good morning, YouTube. Here with you on a Saturday, actually, and I'm sitting here in my lazy ass chair, as it's been known to be called. I thought I would go over this real quick. Now, there was some question about this source that I was using and got the noise on. You guys may recall that from the last video. And a couple of questions on that and a couple of comments that I received. And I thought I would go over it a little closer and take a look at this because I wasn't really showing the whole thing. This is where the regulator is for that. Now this takes, when the boombox is put into the CD mode, this 8.9 line here is active. In other words, it becomes 8.9 volts right there, and this activates this regulator here. And as you can see, we put 8.9 in, we get 6.9 out. Now that is partially because of the Zener diode there, and as far as what kind of voltage we're getting out. But anyway, this is where I got the noise at. I was basically connected in this area here. I was using this ground here, and this line here says 6 volts CD. Now that is obviously the motor to feed to turn the motor on, because the rest of the CD board and that uses a 5 volt source. It doesn't even use a larger source. So if we go and check this out now, it's been suggested that, I put a capacitor on there, a filtering capacitor, to try to filter that noise out. Now if we look at this again, there's so far right here, if it ended right here, I would think that would be, a fairly quiet, there's nothing on it to make any noise. The only noise would be generated would be from this regulator. And I don't know what kind of noise that would generate. So like I said, right now it's pretty quiet. We're just gonna agree to disagree, I guess, is what I'm saying. That it would be quiet right here if this wasn't connected, but it is connected. And so let's go to where this connects to the CD board. That's where it's going. So let's go down and look at that. Alright, now we're down here on the main CD board, and this is where it comes in, the same exact connectors. And you got your 6 volt CD motor there, the motor ground is there. The ground that we were using is this one here. Now I don't know what difference that makes, but if we follow this 6.9 B plus line, that is the line that we're concerned with. That's the one where we got the noise on. And we're going to follow that over here, and it's, you got to kind of remember, it was the middle one here, this line here. So it comes up here, 6.9 B plus, and there's a 0.1 capacitor there, and this is a 1000 microfarad 10 volt electrolytic capacitor. Now that is the filter capacitor. So anybody that was suggesting that I put a cap on there to filter it out, that's already been done. And right there is the proof. Now, the funny thing about this is this does not go directly to the motor. And if we follow this over here, we're going to go down here, follow it over here, it goes up this way, and we're going this way, and right here, 6.9 right there. It's a tie point right there. Both of these, pin 21 and 22, are 6.9 volts into this chip. Now if we go up just a little bit, we can see that is IC706, and that is the motor drive IC. Now, so that's the end of the 6.9 source. That's as far as it goes. Now, so far I have not seen anything really that would cause it to be noise. Now, there are a couple of switching transistors here. I see those. I don't know if those would cause it. They feed. They don't actually feed that. Well, yeah, I guess they do. They go feeding right in here. Maybe that's where. Maybe this is the source of the noise. I don't know. But like I said, whatever it is, the actual motor, control is that. But here's your motors over here. You got your sled motor and you got your spindle motor. That's the only two motors on the CD. And it looks to me like, and I've checked it pretty close, there are no larger voltage outputs than I think 2.9. And the only input was a 6.9, and that was from our source. So, I'm thinking these has to be a lower voltage than that 6.9 to be running these motors. So, that's what I was trying to get at. So, as you can see, I don't know what the source of the noise is. I really don't. Again, the only thing I can see in this area is the switching transistors and the IC itself. And like I said, if you go back over here to the other part, there's really nothing on that line. That line is perfectly, goes from here to the connection you guys seen on the other end of it. It's just the regulator. So I'm really kind of curious about where that noise would come from. I know there were some suggestions that the clip leads that I was using might have been draped over the transformer or something like that, and I'm not buying that, because I tried this once before, different set of circumstances, and unless that just happened to be draped over the same transformer in the same position, everything like that it produced the same noise. So the noise is coming from this line. I do know that. I'm almost 100% sure the noise is coming from this line, and so as such, I don't know. Now, I was using the ground here, the middle terminal. I wasn't using the motor ground. I don't know if that makes a difference, but I was just using the ground line here. So I don't know, again, if that makes a difference or not. But anywho, I just thought I kind of wanted to clear that up. But my regulators, or not regulators, my boosters, ICs, they're coming in, modules, whatever you want to call them, are coming in. When they come in, I'm going to try boosting the 5-volt line, which that's the 5-volt line right there. I'm not getting it there, but I'm getting it over on the main board. But again, I'm going to try doing that, and if that does not work, then we will go back and investigate this more. But as I said just now, that line is noisy, and I don't know why. So maybe I have to get with Bob and see what he thinks. But he's the one that pointed out the E-cap over here. If you look again, and we'll show you one more time. This one right here. C762, it is 1,000 microfarad, 10 volt, and that should filter that line just fine. Again, that line only feeds this IC. So again, I don't know, I really don't know where that is coming from, the noise. So another thing I might try, if I go back to this, is as like I said, disconnect this connector here and just see if the noise is present on the other side there by the regulator. But just see if that noise is present, at the thing with this disconnected, and see if that is, works there. And if it does, I mean, we're not going to disconnect it. We have to have that voltage. But it would give us a clue then where the noise is coming from, I think. And so that would be a way of troubleshooting it, I guess. So. All right, that's going to do me. You guys have a good one. We'll talk to you later.